All right, October 24th, and if you love hockey and you love bets, then this is the show for you because we have a massive slate of NHL games here tonight, and my goodness, do we have a massive slate of bets ahead of us between the four of us combined. I think there's probably somewhere close to about 20 bets total here, between the 15 to 20 range, so we'll get into all of those, what we like and why we like them, but while we're getting into the games and the picks that we like, I assume you guys are sitting here watching a show that you like, and if you do like the show, please make sure to hit that like button while you're watching. Subscribe here to the Edgework HQ YouTube channel, and turn on notifications so you get notified every time that we go live here on this channel, as well as videos come out breaking down news and different futures and stuff as we go throughout the season. But before we get into the games, I got to remind everybody, today's show is brought to you or sponsored by BetStamp. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is by using multiple sports books and always getting the best odds. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp to help you do so. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book for games, futures, and player props. You can save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet, so make sure to download the app today. As well, if you are looking to sign up for a new sports book, you see different sports books up here that you don't have access to or you haven't signed up for, whatever it may be throughout the course of the show here today, and you want to go sign up for those, please make sure to do so by using betstamp.app/edgework as well. You can click the link in the description to help out support the show. Boys, massive show ahead of us here today. We did go the quad box, just watching NFL football this weekend. And I said, you know what, we've done the 3-man enough here. Let's get into the quad for this massive slate ahead of us. I was going to jump into the games, and we will get into all of those, but it would be very rude of myself if I just didn't give the floor here to Moretto for maybe like a 30-second timer to just live in your glory after two big wins last night, the Minnesota Vikings and the Montreal Canadiens. So, Moretto, floor is yours. Timer's on.
Yeah, we're riding high right now. I'm pretty sure it's Stanley Cup or bust for the Habs, Super Bowl or bust for the Vikings. There's no stopping these teams. Kirk Cousins, the Demons are executed, and for the Habs, I mean, look, this team is just a wagon right now. Take out Doc, doesn't matter. Take out Gooley, doesn't matter. David Savard out indefinitely, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just next man up mentality. I've never seen a team battle adversity as well as this team does, and I don't think we're going to lose another game the rest of the way. So looking forward to beating the Devils tonight.
The two championship parlay ticket is in for Alex.
Exactly.
And no one will be tweeting it when it has zero chance later on. There's no we'll treat that better. Had the Habs and the Vikings, like, no, that's not getting tweeted.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Connor Hartle. Shout out to Moretto's Habs on a 2-game winning streak. Yeah, you guys are on a heater now. Don't let the Habs get hot. Don't let the Vikings get hot. But we do have a massive slate of games here tonight, so we'll go through all of those. If you do have questions in the chat, please make sure to fire those. But let's just get right into it. On the topic of the Habs here, I mean, we talked about it a little bit before the show. I saw all the picks come in over the course of last night, or this morning, and then I saw stuff being sent last night of what everyone was looking for here today. So we'll try to go a little bit in order, but for me, we'll go with the Montreal Canadiens game first and foremost. I'm curious, Moretto, if there's anything for you that you would be looking for in this game here tonight, riding off of what we saw last night. Now they are on to a back-to-back. You are missing some guys playing the New Jersey Devils here tonight.
Yeah, this is an over bet for me. I'm not sure what the best available or what kind of we're looking at right now. I guess I should have been a bit more on top of that, but I played this at, I think, minus 110. I played this at minus 110 over 6.5. And it looks like that's still decently available. Minus 115 is fine too. Even minus 120 is fine. But yeah, I like the over a lot here. I think this is Montembeault in net tonight for the Habs. who in my opinion is a downgrade over Jake Allen. And I mean, the Devils offensively are just creating a ton. They're due for some positive regression. 5-on-5 shooting percentage has been low. Should not be as low as it is. I think Montembeault is the perfect elixir to kind of fix that. And I mean, talking about a Devils power play that's been scorching hot, now facing a Habs penalty kill that is struggling and just lost their best penalty killer, David Savard. It was announced like 5-10 minutes ago that he's out indefinitely after blocking that shot last night. So, yeah, I mean, Habs can, I think, chip in some goals themselves as well. They've been generating a decent amount of offense, and I think that this total is just a little bit low. I think we're going to see a lot of goals in this game.
And Matt, Alber, to specify here, you're on the same side as Moretto. You're in agreement?
Yeah, I'm also on the over here. Again, these two teams just generating a lot of chances. Neither of them necessarily stopping a whole lot of chances on the other end. Obviously, getting Montembeault in net. I've been high on the Canadiens' offense from the start of the season, and that's going to continue here. So, yeah, I'm on the over as well.
Well, I might as well ask you, Matt Russell, any disagreement with this pick tonight?
No, certainly no disagreement. I'm a little bit confused, Zach. I thought we were going to start with the Leafs and the Caps and do every game every 15 minutes for the next
Zach's
4
avoiding Leafs
hours.
talk.
I've got all these notes here for every game for every 15 minutes for 4 hours. So so I'm a little bit unprepared because I thought we were going to do that. No, honestly, I'm a little bit close to showing quote unquote value on the Devils, especially with the involvement of Sam Montembeault. But I'm not the type of person who's looking to pay -200 for a road team against a team that's clearly on a heater and allegedly isn't going to lose another game all season long. So this game is a total pass for me.
All right, fair enough. Well, let's jump back to that Leafs game then there. I was just trying to go with the natural transition from, hey, the Habs are going to win the Cup. They're facing the Devils here tonight. Is this the heater continues and let that narrative run? But that was why we jumped ahead to the 7:15.
Yeah. I'm just so excited there's a 6 p.m. start tonight, Zach. Like, I can't even tell you, buddy. We're set. If anybody watches anything tonight, please let it be the first game at 6 o'clock, the first period. We got to get the ratings bumped up for that thing so that we can start doing the 6 o'clock thing every single night for the rest of our lives. It's going to happen. Yes. We hinted about it last week. And we need it. We need this as a standard. 6 p.m. Let's go.
Screw the West Coast, right?
What? I'm sorry. The West Coast needs to see the Leafs game at 6 o'clock when I haven't seen a West Coast game in a decade, or at least the third period of a West Coast game in a decade.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
I think they're going to be fine. Trust me.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to that 6 p.m. game here tonight that everyone will be tuning into because obviously the Leafs are playing, so everyone's going to tune in to watch that. Right, Moretto? That'll be front and center on your TV. But Matt. Alber, you've got a play here tonight between the Leafs and the Capitals. We're currently seeing this one line plus 154 on the Washington Capitals here tonight at home taking on the Maple Leafs. The total sitting at 6.5 here, juiced a little bit to the over -114 on the over. Matt, is there any way that you're trying to get involved in this game here tonight?
Yeah, so I played Washington at plus 155 for a hack play. The Capitals, I think, have actually been a lot better than most people seem to think. They're middle of the pack as far as expected goal percentage. What's killed them so far is they are dead last in the league at shooting percentage. And obviously, when you have guys like Ovechkin, like Oshie, I expect that to kind of regress a little bit. The Leafs the other night were laying something like -130 against Tampa. I thought this line would be a little bit closer to that than it is now at -170. So, yeah, certainly not a big play, but I am playing the Capitals and hoping that they can finally put a few pucks in the net here.
Yeah, well, I think the piece that you're missing is that they've got the next great goaltender in net in Joseph Woll there, and I mean Matthew Nyes is come alive, so that's what Moretto's been fearing all this time. And now it's happening, so that's probably the price adjustment. But no, we'll play this for a half unit there. What price would you be willing to play this down to, Matt?
Just down to 150, I think here.
Okay. All right. So there are 150s out there available as well beyond this. And we're going to go half unit on that for those tracking or for those listening on podcast as well. Just a reminder that the $100 is the full unit that we play typically. So go down to a half unit for this one. I'll leave it open for discussion here. Any objection to the plays tonight between Alex and Matt?
I'm kind of neutral, a little bit neutral on this game. Do we have a nickname for Joseph Wall yet? Like, have Leafs fans not like just call him like the Joseph Wall? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like a goalie with Wall in his last name just seems too easy. Is that just too easy of a nickname? I don't know. I'm just
Zach. This is a
I've
question
missed
for
anything
you.
yet. Yeah, this is all you, Zach.
I don't know.
Do
man.
we know
I
if
don't
he
worry
likes
about that.
Does he like a casual beverage after the game? Because if he doesn't, maybe he's the drywall. I don't know. I don't know if he's a.
All right, that was pretty good.
Have a cocktail.
Yeah, the brick wall. That seems to be just the most obvious one that would be out there. The brick wall. I don't really care or dabble into nicknames at all. That's not my area. I just want to watch the games, and that's about it. See, there you go, brick wall. Oh, and by the way,
it feels
guys,
like
I'm
the
seeing,
obvious, easy answer there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm seeing in the chat here.
Yeah,
there seems
drywall.
to be a
You
lot
can
of
punch some holes in. At least that's.
Drywall is pretty flimsy.
I'm seeing a lot of accusations towards the West Coasters that it seems like they have a lighter work schedule than those on the East.
Yeah, it's
3
2023.
p.m. work from home. West Coasters are done work at 3. They're fine. There you go. See? Alex B. Smith, the Great Wall of Toronto. I don't want to just throw this on the guy here to start this career that he may be embarking on. This, I don't know if that's very fair to put the pressure on and call him the Great Wall at this point. But let's go to a game here tonight that the former GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs will be in attendance at, and that would be the Pittsburgh Penguins at home tonight taking on the Dallas Stars. And we've got conflicting opinions here tonight. So, Matt Russell, we'll go to you here first. The Penguins currently plus 108 at home against the Dallas Stars. Now, if you know the show, you know that Moretto is Mr. Dallas Star, Mr. Nashville Predator over the last 2 seasons. And Matt, you're coming into this one. You're looking on the opposite side of Moretto. Why is that here tonight?
Honestly, just a price thing for me at around plus 110, 108, I think is the best price now on the Penguins. That's worth a bet for me. Listen, when at first, when I found out somebody was going against me with a pick, I was like, oh, no, I hate it when that happens. Then I realized it was Alex with regards to the Stars, and I went, oh, okay, that's fine. And just because it's like, yeah, I know Alex is going to be on the Stars, just in the same way that, like, the sun came up this morning. So totally fine with that, and don't even necessarily, like, vehemently disagree. Obviously, the price for the Penguins has come down a little bit here because they've lost a handful of games in a row here. I think 2 in a row. But honestly, to me, that just means they're going to be a little bit more locked in on a game that, should be around a coin flip. We're getting plus money on the home underdog here. So yeah, I'll take the Penguins.
Fair enough. And Moretto, you obviously are on the opposite side of this one. Is this just another price thing as well here?
Yeah. It's not a huge play for me, but like it wouldn't be one of my bigger sides or bigger bets of the day. But yeah, this is a Stars team that I'm obviously. I mean, made no secrets about it on this show for like a year and a half now. I am very high on this Stars team. And I'm low on Pittsburgh, and that has nothing to do with Dubas or anything like that. I'm just low on this Pittsburgh team in general compared to markets. So for me, this feels short. I mean, look, you don't have to, be a genius to know that like I backed the Stars pretty much like minus 110, minus 115 at Vegas last week. I'm probably going to back them at this price at Pittsburgh. So, this is a bet for me.
And it should be worth noting, like usually Alex and I are like hand in hand, arm in arm with the Stars, right? So this is a bit of a departure for me to sort of abandon the ship here. But honestly, I have the Stars at really kind of around an average team so far this season. Obviously, a completely small sample size.
Mm-hmm.
But even from like a point total projection perspective, Dallas was 105.5. Pittsburgh was 97.5. That's not exactly the hugest discrepancy, especially when you flip home ice advantage here. So yeah, like I said, plus money price here. It's the Penguins, but I'm certainly not giving up on the Stars. Alex, you and I will be back arm in arm going for the Dallas Stars at some point in the near future, I'm sure.
We'll be back.
So no official play there, but wanted to kind of give you guys the opportunity to break that one down as to why you were on either side, and if people were looking for a reason to jump in there, maybe now you have one. But I did see a question in the chat or a comment in the chat from Insight earlier here, who, by the way, Insight has been doing very well in the player props, shot on goal props that he's been sending into the chat over the last little while. So shout out to Insight for those. But This is a play that I think we're going to have some backing from here on the show. Moretto, I'll go to you. Mr. Totals so far to start this season. We're looking at the Carolina Hurricanes, Tampa Bay Lightning, currently 6.5, minus 110 to the over. That's where Insight is looking as of right now. You agree with this play?
Yep, I am in full agreement. I bet this, and I like it quite a bit. Defensively, neither team has been too hot so far to start the year. Goaltending wise, neither team has been particularly great. Actually, I take that back because Johansson was actually fantastic on Saturday night, and he's had a decent start to the season. So I don't want to go bashing him. But both teams can generate offense. Both teams have not, have been kind of bleeding chances, generating a lot of chances. This is just, I see this as being a very high scorer game. I like the price on this, and I would bet this over up to minus 120.
All right, so there you go. So currently minus 110. We'll lock it in there. We are seeing 110s fairly widely available there, even minus 115s, even still below minus 120, but playable up to minus 120. And then we do have a second best bet here in this game. So Matt, Alber, I'll go over to you on this one. We see Carolina minus 120 as the best price available on the money line on the road here at Tampa. Tampa plus 116. You're looking at a side. Which side are you looking to get behind tonight?
Yeah, so I played Carolina at minus 115. So a lot of this is with Carolina, they always struggle with a very specific team. Teams like the Rangers that have high-end goaltending and high-end shooters. Tampa obviously has some high-end shooters. They do not have high-end goaltending. And the way Carolina plays, I just expect them to get chance after chance kind of on Tampa. Obviously, I'm with Moretto on the total here. I think this game goes over. But I think this is one where, if Tampa Bay gets into a kind of a trading chances match with Carolina, which I think we kind of both expect, it certainly benefits Carolina a lot. And their goalies are frankly due for some regression. I mean, they're allowing right now over a goal more per game above expected. Their goalies are too good for that. So yeah, I'm on Carolina here at minus 115. It looks like minus 120 is still available. I'm okay playing that up to minus 125, frankly.
All right. So lock that in there at minus 120. That is best price available. Good up to minus 125. So yeah, again, continue to send those in the chat if you do like plays. We'll see if we can get to those throughout the course of the show. If you are enjoying the show here today, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, and turn on notifications so that you get notified every single time that we go live throughout the course of the week, as we are live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. And when you get an opportunity to have this many games and this many bets given out, you're not going to want to miss a show like this. So, Matt, you were talking about the West Coast games and how you want them all to be earlier. It seems like you've got a lot of the Central and West Coast games on your sheet here tonight. I'm going to throw to you for this Seattle Kraken Detroit Red Wings game. I mean, obviously here tonight in Detroit, but it is at the 8:15 p.m. start time. You're currently seeing Seattle plus 120 against Detroit minus 130. Total sitting at 6 right now. How is it that you're looking to get involved in this one tonight?
Yeah, I'm on the Kraken here, plus 118. I think that's probably around the best price that we can find. There may be some plus 120s. Oh, yeah, we got a rogue plus 120 or two. Don't mind that. Yeah, that's the play for me. My number that I was looking for here was plus 112 on the Kraken. Obviously, a pretty decent start here for the Red Wings, and I might have to get in on Derek Lalonde, Jack Adams, after you guys tried to talk me out of him a couple of weeks ago. But that being said, honestly, Detroit, the numbers are they're still pretty below average to start the season here. Kraken haven't had a particularly great start. Obviously, we don't love the Burakovsky injury here necessarily, but if that's what's driving, if those two things, the idea that Detroit might be, that much better than we thought before the season, or even a Burakovsky injury situation here, if that's driving this price to where Detroit is all of a sudden a pretty significant favorite against a playoff team from last year, then I kind of have to call BS on that. So give me the Kraken here at a pretty decent price, plus what did I say, plus 112 or better. So widely available at a better price, plus 115, plus 120 if you can get it.
All right, there you go. And yeah, that is widely available now. Before we move off of this one, have you guys heard the goal song out there in Detroit?
I have not.
No.
If you have not heard it, go take a listen. I haven't been able. You can't play it on here, obviously, because we'll get this this stream taken down, which would be quite unfortunate given the amount of picks that we're going to be giving out here today. But yeah, go if you after this show, when this is done, go take a minute to go listen to that. It's the Red Wings did it right. They changed their goal song for the season. It's an Eminem song, but
nice.
Pretty
Have
well.
we gotten your thoughts
fitting.
on the Leafs' new goal song yet here?
Which one?
They don't have one.
I thought Jack was
Changed,
going to
yeah.
criticize the Red Wings goal song, and I was like, that's a bit
No.
calling the kettle black type of a situation. But no, it turned out that it's you're in support of it. So
Nothing is as good
I
as Jeff
like it.
Skinner with a High School Musical song now.
Yes, well, the Sabres all having their own individual goal songs is pretty it's pretty incredible. I think that that's a smart move, to be honest with you. I think that that's the way to go. That's the future of it. It's like the MLB walk-up songs. I don't know how
I just
you
can't
wouldn't get
imagine
fired
being
for
a
those.
I can't imagine being a goalie in the NHL and allowing a goal and then hearing the High School Musical theme song playing over the speakers in the arena.
Yeah.
That's pretty deflating. I also
question
would.
here.
Oh yeah. So
Go ahead,
I was just gonna say in terms of Matt's Kraken, that's like a strong lean for me. That's something I might end up betting too. I think there's some regression coming for the Wings. I don't think this team is as good as they've looked so far, as good as their record shows. I mean, these guys like DeBrincat and Larkin are playing just way over their heads. Two nice players, but like they're not. This team is not as good as they've shown so far, and they will kind of come back down to earth. And you kind of want to. You don't want to wait for that to happen before you start betting against them. You kind of want to get in on that before it starts to happen.
yeah, and it's obviously the reverse for the Kraken at 1 and 5 to start their season, right? So you're getting kind of two ships kind of passing here that I think it might be time to hop in and go the opposite way. So that's why I'm on the Kraken.
Yeah, and similar to kind of what I touched on before with Washington, Detroit leading the league in shooting percentage, Seattle 31st. I do expect some regression on both of those, and I was someone who was pretty high on the Red Wings' offensive potential coming into the year, which has also happened. But yeah, I think these teams are much closer to even than this price currently tonight suggests.
All right, let's go on to another total here. We'll go into the Boston-Chicago game. But before we do that, I do see Peter Meyer asking, where are the picks posted? If you do want to see all the picks from this show throughout the course of this season, as well as last season, you want to analyze, break down player props, sides, totals, how well we do on any of those, you can go to the BetStamp app and find us as Edgework HQ. As well, in there, you can use the analysis tools to break all of that down and see how we've done over the past week, how we've done over the past 30 days, past 2 years, whatever it is, you can use that to break it all down. But it is in the BetStamp app, which you can find on mobile or as well on web. And then it is in there as Edgework HQ. So make sure to check that out. But let's go on to the Boston-Chicago game here. We talked to Alex B the other day about Connor Bedard getting in, scoring his first goal on home ice over this past weekend. Now another opportunity here at home tonight against the Boston Bruins. I believe the team that he did score his first NHL goal against, actually. Now Chicago line at plus 203. You see Boston minus 225. Best price available tonight. The total sitting at 5.5, 6 on some books. Moretto, Mr. Totals, where are you looking here tonight?
I'm looking towards an underplay. Maybe not one of like my strongest totals for the day, but I do like the under here. I think the Bruins are going to be. I mean, I think Matt, Alber, you talked about this too. The Bruins are just going to be a big under team this year. We talked about this last week. I feel the same way. I think they're going to really be able to limit what Chicago is able to generate in this game, and Boston, like as well as they've been kind of offensively so far, they're not, going to be this high potent, high octane offense this season. And I think we're just kind of getting a little bit of a generous price here, where this should be, in my opinion, more of like I think like even at under 5.5 at penny plus 105, I think, that should be a little bit shorter. So I like the under here. I think that we're going to see a pretty low scoring game. The only thing obviously that concerns you a bit is goaltending from Chicago's perspective, but like, hey, it's been more than serviceable to start the season. So, I'm okay. I'm okay stomaching this one.
Zach, I got to get you to play it. I got to get you to play my favorite intro here. You know what I'm talking about. It's happening.
The Disgusting Brothers.
Don't call us that.
Yeah. Blackhawks plus 203. The Disgusting Brothers Tuesday play of the night. I know you guys are pumped about it. And honestly, the price is the key here, right? That it's somewhat of a rogue number, plus 203 over at Pinnacle. You see a lot of plus 185s, et cetera, et cetera. I needed, let me just double check here.
There's
I needed
95s and 90s and stuff available.
Yeah,
as well.
I needed plus 185 for this to qualify. So at plus, better than plus 200, we're certainly I don't know if the word jumping on it is necessarily how you'd want to put it here. But as Alex mentioned, right, you got two teams here that not offensively challenged potentially. I trust. I think using the word trust in the Blackhawks doesn't make any sense. I prefer Swayman playing over Omark for the Bruins. But honestly, like I said, at a plus price with two teams that honestly I think are not that far off from a lot of my numbers. I have Boston, a little bit below average. I think like 5 or 6% below average to start the season, and Chicago 12% below average. That's not enough of a spread for me to be scared off from grabbing something at plus 200, especially with the home team. In Connor Bedard we trust tonight for a disgusting brothers play on a Tuesday.
All right,
nice
there
2-1
you go.
shootout win.
You know it.
Perfect. All right, there you go. First disgusting brothers play, as well as another total in there. But let's go to another game where we've got totals and a play on the side as well. I may have a goal scorer prop to throw out here for you guys. Matt, Alber, let's go to you for this one. We're going to go to a team that might be in a little bit of a panic with Connor McDavid sitting out over the next 1 to 2 weeks. And based on the way that their season has started here, we see this total between Edmonton and Minnesota here in Minnesota tonight, lined at 6.5. You see Minnesota minus 115 coming into this one. Which way are you looking to get involved between the Oilers and the Wild tonight?
Yeah, real quick before coming onto this one, just to go on a little Bruins rant here. I fully agree with the Chicago play. The Bruins have been very much a league average team by most metrics so far. They've gotten elite goaltending, and they've played Chicago, Nashville, San Jose, LA, where they frankly got dominated and were lucky to win that game, and then Anaheim. So they've played some very poor teams so far, and they've obviously started hot 5-0. I think there's going to be a lot of spots to fade the Bruins coming up. I definitely see this being one, but I think we'll get some really good prices fading the Bruins for a bit here. So I'm in full agreement with the Blackhawks.
There's a lot of agreement in the chat too, by the way, just for people.
Everybody wants to be in the disgusting brothers. It's the hottest trend in hockey betting right now. It's just everybody. We're all just at the bar, just being gross.
A consensus on a plus 200 dog is there's only one way this ends.
Yeah,
there's only one way this ends.
7-0.
This is going to end like 7.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like 7-1. Blackhawks score first, then the Bruins just pile on the rest of the game.
Roll.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm on the under between Edmonton and Minnesota. Back to the game we were actually going to talk about. I think Minnesota is a team that we generally like playing unders on. Obviously, if we get Gustafsson in net, that's even better. And from the Oilers side, I don't know that McDavid not playing is necessarily being priced in enough here. I'm looking right now at 6.5, under minus 105. What would this price be if McDavid was playing? Minus 125, minus 130? Like, I don't think a Minnesota total should frankly ever kind of approach that. So yeah, this is just a strictly numbers play for me. I thought this was going to be in the range of 6.5, under minus 120, maybe even minus 125. So I see minus 102 at Pinnacle. Like, definitely would love that. I personally played minus 105. I think this is good up to like minus 115 or so.
All right, and a lot of room available there because that is pretty widely available. But there's more than one play in this game. Matt, the other Matt, we'll get to you here. Your thoughts on the Oilers and the Wild.
Yeah, I mean, Albert mentioning that McDavid's not priced in. I don't think he's priced in to the side here correctly. I think this number, if he's playing and everything's healthy, the Oilers are probably around minus 120 on the road, and now they're about even money on the road. And that's only about a 5% implied win probability shift. Now, that is the type of shift that you're going to get from just kind of a standard best player on a team. You know, like, I don't want to say standard is like Austin Matthews certainly isn't standard, but like the drop off from Austin Matthews to the other three scorers, top line, top quality scorers, right? Isn't that big? Now, obviously, the Oilers have Draisaitl, but McDavid played all 82 games last year for the Oilers. Like, this is somewhat uncharted, at least from a recent standpoint, territory for the Oilers. So the fact that this is only kind of flipped about 5%, where again, he didn't play last year, we don't really know in the last calendar year and a half or so what the Oilers are without McDavid. But if you're going to run away and win the Hart Trophy and the Art Ross Trophy and every trophy that you basically, can qualify for, you're probably the most important player in the league. And if you're the most important player in the league, you're probably worth, I think, closer to 10% of a win probability. So I'm on the Wild here. There's last I saw, there was a minus 113 for the Wild at home. This is, until this gets adjusted in the way that I think it should be. Listen, the Oilers could win this game. Even at minus 113, that's pretty much a coin flip price. Yeah, so that's the Pinnacle's up to minus 115. It was minus 113 a little bit earlier. You can see some higher prices there. But yeah, so I mean, honestly, it's just kind of like whether it's the total or the side, it's almost like there's so many games that the market is like forgetting that McDavid, like because he got hurt on a weekend and everybody was watching football, we all forgot that McDavid's kind of really important here. So honestly, I think this number should probably be closer to minus 130, minus 135, and obviously some places have that. It's starting to get higher up there. But yeah, this is Wild for me here. And then, we'll see what happens in the coming days, whether that gets adjusted in an appropriate way. And I know it sounds sort of quote unquote square or whatever, but I'm going to go ahead and fade the Oilers, who have bad goaltending and are without Connor McDavid until they prove me wrong, essentially. And again, maybe that comes tonight, but I'll try the Wild here. Had success with them last Tuesday. So maybe the Wild are the new Tuesday. Maybe it's Tuesday Wild instead of Tuesday Kings.
I can't get behind that, Matt. Sorry. I can't do it. Yeah. I can't do it. I can get behind the Wild tonight. I can't get behind the Wild going forward.
Well, we'll have to see what the schedule looks like next Tuesday.
That's fair. See you next Tuesday.
If it's 3 in a row Wild, then, it's officially a thing. So.
Yeah, Wild Tuesdays. All right, well, we locked in 2 plays there. I did have another one. There's 1 number remaining left on this one. There was a little bit more widely available, but if you people have this one, I'm not really the biggest fan of narratives, but tonight might be one of those ones where you got to buy into it a little bit, and I think the number is at least good enough to get behind the narrative at it, and that would be Zach Hyman anytime goal, who's sitting at plus 200. Look, he got bumped up to the first line here. He's going to be playing with Draisaitl and Evander Kane. He's going to be playing on the first power play, likely in a little bit more of a prominent role. Going to have to take on a little bit more, playing alongside those guys there as well. Hasn't really had the goal scoring so far to start this season. A little bit of pressure is weighing on all those guys. And the other thing that I kind of thought about here is, remember when Sidney Crosby had the season where he went out and Evgeny Malkin stepped up and had his Hart Trophy season because he just became the guy to take over? I'm not necessarily saying
I got it.
No. Yeah, that's the bet. I'm not necessarily saying Draisaitl's gonna just hop in here and be Hart Trophy guy for the next 2 weeks, but you could tell that there's a little bit of like, hey, I got to step up in that guy's game and take over for this, and it just could lead to some guys around him benefiting is essentially where I'm looking at here. You got Evander Kane, who was pissed off the other day about his minutes. You got Zach Hyman hopping up into that top line and on the power play. I think Draisaitl could be a guy to kind of just step up in their absence. I know that doesn't necessarily play along with where you guys are at in Wild money line and the under here when I'm going Oilers goal scorer, but that's just kind of the area that I could look. It's not widely available,
Zach.
But yeah.
Normally a Leaf fan is supposed to compare Zach Hyman while he's on the Leafs with Connor McDavid and filling a role. Like that's normally, everybody on the Leafs is as good as Connor McDavid, but now it's a former Leaf being subbing right in there for Connor McDavid. So that's a very galaxy brain move of you to just kind of go, it's a little bit post hype, if you will.
I think that maybe the words are twisted a little bit there.
Are they? Zach, this is a Tuesday show, man. I would never do that to you. I would never twist your words to make them sound like something different. How dare you?
That's the area that I was going with that. Normally I'm trying to look for numbers. I think that this number is fine as where it's at, but I just think that this is one of those spots where you get a guy being elevated up into the lineup and can take advantage of that. So there you go. 3 bets for the Oilers Wild game. I'll go a half unit on that Hyman goal scorer prop there, but
you said Hyman bumped up to the first line with Kane and Draisaitl. That means Kane was also bumped up to the first line because he was, I'm pretty sure, line 3 the other night.
Yes, correct. I just didn't like where I wasn't as big of a fan of where the Kane number had been at, and just based on where we've seen Hyman, like with some of the goal scoring and being a beneficiary of being a guy who can just score on some of the tap in, tip in, whatever you want to call them on some of those plays. It's more of like a go to the net and keep your stick on the ice, and you're probably going to find a way to score with Draisaitl with you. So
after Ryan Johansson on Saturday, Zach, I'm just going to start tailing you blindly on these.
Well, I wouldn't say tail blindly, but yeah, that's kind of the way that I was looking for this game here tonight. We do still have plenty of picks. Let's go into, you know what? We talked about Wild Tuesdays. Let's hop on over to what started it all off with Kings Tuesdays here. Mr. Matt Russell, the originator of Kings Tuesdays, talk to us. What do you got here tonight between the LA Kings and Arizona Coyotes?
Hear me out on this. I've got the Kings on a Tuesday.
Shocker.
Right? But again, so I was willing to, quote unquote, willing to pay, anything sort of sub minus 200 on the Kings. Everybody likes the Coyotes. It's all, very adorable. I much prefer just taking the Kings in regulation here. Obviously, when you get to a point where you're thinking about laying a minus 200 price, you're not really looking to, the plan is not to rely on a shootout or the coin flip that is 3-on-3 hockey. So if we're going to lose on Kings Tuesday, we might as well lose a little bit less here and go in with the Kings in regulation. They have gotten pretty unlucky, right? We talked last Tuesday about last Tuesday's game where they won, winning that bet. We talked about the previous Saturday having lost to Carolina 6-5 in extra time after kind of making that comeback down 5-2. Same situation. We just talked about how the Bruins got pretty lucky to win that game on Saturday. I was in a hazy state of post-college football. I'm like, look, checking the score. It's 1-1. I flip over, and the Bruins literally scored 2 goals in basically what felt like 10 seconds. And it was just kind of over at that point, right? Again, long story short, I think this Kings team is a lot better than the market gives them credit for sort of on a regular basis. And I think now the Coyotes are getting a little above their skis as far as people giving them credit. So the number, little short for me. Don't want to pay the close to minus 200 on thinking I might need overtime or the shootout. So give it to me in regulation here. Kings Tuesdays still happening, still a thing. Watch out, Wild. Watch out for the Wild. But right now, Kings Tuesdays is still a thing.
Put it on a T-shirt.
Yeah, we're doing it. If the Kings and Wild ever play on a Tuesday, we're in big trouble. I'm not even going to be on the show.
Yeah. It's just going to be, you're going to be betting the draw on that one. That's going to have to be. Yeah. Yes, OT. Moretto, you're looking at a play in this game here as well.
Yes, I'm looking at the under here, and I'm not just looking at it. I actually bet it. So there you go. I like the under 6 in this game. I think that, 6.5. I think that, this isn't like a stellar goaltending matchup by any means. You're not betting it because, you're expecting Connor Ingram and Cam Talbot to just slam the door shut. You hope you get some, decent goaltending from them, but you're betting it because these are two teams that defensively have been, top 5 in the league at suppressing chances against at 5-on-5. They've been very, very good defensively. Now, Kings have gotten some shaky goaltending here and there. Now, they've also played some of the best offenses in the league, teams that can really light you up and make you pay for, subpar goaltending. Coyotes, I don't think, are that team. While I am high on the Coyotes, it's not because they're going to, outscore you on any given night. So, yeah, I think the under 6.5 is very good value here. I just can't get anywhere near that in terms of, these two offenses, these two defenses. Unless we get, a horror show in net, I think this can be comfortably under the total.
All right, there you go. 2 best bets in this game as well here. We'll continue on. We got a few more games that we got to get to before we get into the one that's scaring me the most. To finish this one off, but I'm seeing a lot of. Matt, this is the first time I'm seeing some opposition here to Kings Tuesdays. By the way, normally Chad is very much involved. Now we're seeing Connor going against. They've got Coyotes, Jeremy, Jordan Mosel. We've got some pushback here tonight for maybe
Zach,
the first
why
time
do you
ever
think
on
the
a
Coyotes
Kings
price
Tuesday.
is what it is, right? That's the point. That's the whole
fair
point.
enough. All right, couple more games to get to here before we get to the final one that is a little bit concerning, and I know you guys know which one I'm talking about on that, but we'll save that for the chat as the surprise one to close things out. Next, let's head on over to the Philadelphia Flyers. I saw someone earlier in the chat say, let Matt Russell give us the Flyers and let's get it over with. It's not Matt Russell who's looking towards the Flyers here tonight. It is Matt Alber. Matt, talk to us. Why are you looking toward to back the Flyers, Philadelphia Flyers tonight?
I hate it. I hate betting against Vegas. I'm so tired of doing it. It never works. It always ends in pain. The Flyers are the best team so far in the entire league as far as expected goal percentage. Aiden Hill is playing better than he did in the playoffs last year, frankly, so far this year. I don't even want to talk about why I'm playing this. I played just the puck line because I don't want to lose this in a shootout when the Flyers hit 2 crossbars. Like, I think the Flyers are playing well. I think Vegas is probably a little overvalued here. I took the 1.5 minus 130. I just want to forget I bet this and not watch a second. And hopefully it wins.
Fair enough.
Honestly, that's how you know it's good.
Yeah.
That's just how you know it's good. The
All
price
right,
is
well,
honestly.
we'll lock that one in.
I want to just kind of hop in because it was the expectation was that this was going to be in the Disgusting Brothers. I think kind of the point out, Matt's saying, right, is like that the Flyers are kind of good enough for this to qualify, and unfortunately, I think the market is at least pricing it fairly. And this is one where like a week ago, it's probably in that plus 200 zone, right? And it's not, and that's kind of fundamentally the issue I have, right? Where I have it still priced in kind of the mid 200s at a plus 240, 250, where I would bet it. I think from a sort of fair value perspective, like 210 on either side is the kind of correct price before VIG. So yeah, unfortunately, it just doesn't qualify because the Flyers are maybe too good for it to qualify. Whereas like it still kind of feels like they're not that good, but they might be good. So
yeah. I like it. I mean, you can't as much as you can like betting the Flyers against Vegas.
No, you don't. None of us like it.
I like that it exists. I'm not going to bet it, but I like that it's a thing that's happening in the world.
I thought we'd get a slightly better price though, and we did have it yesterday when the penny openers kind of came out. We got to like some plus 90-ish, plus 195-ish, I think, on Vegas on the Flyers, but like kind of bet down a decent amount this morning and overnight, and then a little bit of buyback on Vegas, but just not quite there. Although I really, really think I'm doing you a favor here, Albert, because I think this is the night that I stay off baiting Vegas and betting Philly because I bet Philly a good amount. So this is the night that Vegas loses.
Goes your way.
So you're welcome.
Yeah, and I think part of it for me is like I was definitely very low on Philly coming into the year. I had tickets on them to finish last in the league, under point totals, all of that, and they've been like really good.
They've been good. So they've been they've been a really like solid team. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. Next game.
Okay.
I bet this and I already hate it.
Well, let's we didn't like the last one to get disgusting on, but let's get disgusting on this one. Let's go to the St. Louis Blues on the road against the Winnipeg Jets here tonight. St. Louis currently plus 164. We see the Jets minus 175. Total right now sitting at 6. Teased it a little bit. Mr. Russell, are you getting disgusting in this one here tonight?
Play the song, play the clip, my friend. We got to go again. If it qualifies.
The Disgusting Brothers.
Don't call us that.
My number was plus 163, and so plus 164. It's like, okay, guess we're doing this. I mean, honestly, it's strictly just a numbers thing here. St. Louis, maybe not as bad. I mean, that's a couple percentage points, maybe not as bad as we necessarily thought. Winnipeg, talked about it last week, faded them against the Kings, and then had nothing but nice things to say about the Winnipeg Jets. So the reality here is that maybe everybody has nothing but nice things to say about the Jets, and the price is getting extended too far on the Winnipeg Jets, right? So that's kind of, sit back and you look at it and you go like, well, I like the Jets conceptually as a team this season, but every night they're priced kind of out of the range that I would want to bet them. And so clearly I'm not the only one who thinks relatively highly of the Jets. And the problem is maybe we're all just a little bit too high on the Jets. I mean, at this price, like I mentioned, we were like $1 essentially away, $2 away from this not being a Disgusting Brothers play. And I could kind of walk away. I don't like this any more than Matt likes Philadelphia. Put it in the same category. That's probably how you know it's good. But yeah, I guess give me the Blues. The bet has been made, so it's in the account. I guess give me the Blues at plus 164.
Yeah, as someone who keeps betting the Jets, I agree. It's Blues or nothing here. I think this number is just too high at this point.
I agree with Connor in the chat that the Blues are way more disgusting than the Blackhawks tonight. The Blues
Perfect.
just
Again,
oh god,
ideal.
that team is
Ideally.
nothing but pain.
So what I'm
their
hearing
games.
here is Blackhawks, Blues, Flyers parlay lock.
Yes. Yes, pretty
Well,
much. Yeah.
It's Tuesday, so
And
we gotta
Canadians, obviously, because the Habs are never losing again. Right?
Yes.
Alt
yes,
lines.
right.
Alt lines minus 1.5.
Yes.
Tuesday, and that's
Yes.
Now we really get rich.
We did this last year.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we had a run of doing this last year.
We looked
We were
okay.
round
for
robin.
a couple crazy ones.
Yeah.
round
We were
robining.
like flipping these insane underdogs and just going minus 1.5s and round robining them and like and it was getting absurd. It was
They
actually
didn't
getting
always
absurd.
win, but we had the time of our lives.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they ever won.
I don't know if they-
There would just be points where we'd be sitting there like late sending messages back and forth being like, are you guys seeing this? Like, we might pull this one off. And then,
The Sharks
Of
are up
course.
2-0 lead turns to a 4-2 loss.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, before we get to the final game of a best bet here, we do have one more plus money one. Matt Russell, we'll go back to you again
God,
here.
we do,
Calgary
don't we?
Flames at home against the New York Rangers tonight. I want to hear your thoughts on this one because we do have Mr. New York Ranger there beside you as well. So maybe he can give you some opposition. But looking at the Flames here tonight against the Rangers, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not a big Flames guy by any stretch of the imagination here, but basically anything plus 110 or better. I would say looking as if like I'm excited to do this, but yeah. So I bet it. I bet it earlier today at plus 111. It's kind of out of range right now. So I mean, obviously somebody else is interested in betting the Flames. So maybe they're more excited about it than I am. But I don't know that I'm necessarily dying to do it now that it's. I realize it's only a couple of dollars here, going from like 111 to like 109.
It all counts.
Yeah, but it all adds up, right? And when we're trying to
You got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And that's true, right? Because
Yeah.
over the hundreds of thousands of bets in our lives and the hundreds of bets that we're going to make this hockey season, right? The edge is the edge, and the edge kind of stops at plus 110. So, and I realize that sounds lukewarm, and I'll be thrilled when and if the Flames win at plus 111. But with the best price being 109, honestly, that's the cutoff for me. So,
Okay.
We've seen a lot of back and forth on this game, though. So I think that it could come back into range for sure.
Yeah.
I think it definitely could come back into range. So I'm just going to kind of sit and wait here. But I think we can see another 110 or even 115 pop at one point, and I'm sure it'll get bought back when it does.
Yeah, I like the Flames coming off getting hammered by the Red Wings and losing, having kind of a rough finish to that road trip too. I mean, you lose to the Blue Jackets, you lose to the Red Wings. If the adjustment is going to be just off of those two games, then like that's worth playing for me, right? Because I don't know. It's funny. I feel like we're having more adjustments off of really, kind of nothing, 1 or 2 game sample sizes here. More in the NHL this season, like it's being treated like it's the NFL. And I don't know if that's just because more people are betting the NHL and sort of overreacting to some of these results. But early on in the season, I'm just kind of finding more plays, whether they win or lose. That's kind of debatable. Obviously, we had a nice Tuesday last week, but whether they lose or not, I'm just kind of finding a little bit more quote unquote edges or quote unquote value on some of these, just based off of, I think, a couple of game sample size where things have gone a little off the rails for a couple of teams.
Right. Well, and we do get a reminder here. Jordan Mosso saying the Ducks Yotes game minus 1.5 hit last year. That was the one that did hit.
That was the pick.
Which
But,
seeing those two names and remembering what they were like last season, that tells you everything you need to know about how disgusting that was. So, no official play in that Calgary game there. We'll leave that off. But again, you're looking for that. Moretto?
I want to address one more thing too in the chat before I forget. The Primo might be getting the start for Montreal now. I like this over even more with Primo in that. As much as we just bash Montembeault and said that like it's nice to have him in there, this is even a further step down, and it makes sense for Primo to get the start here. They are carrying 3 goalies. He hasn't played yet. Like if there's a time to get him in there, this is probably it, especially because they play on Thursday again. So yeah, this is I mean, Primo is like small sample, and obviously like you're dating back to a small sample over a long range, but Primo is like minus 18 goals saved above expected. He's struggled. He hasn't been like he had a better AHL season last year, but every time he takes the step up, it's not happening. What's up, Matt?
I've got it. And
What?
this is the type of thing that I would usually think of after the show, and I'd kick myself for not doing it. Wild Kings Tuesday parlay. Like, how does that lose?
When the Wild lose, when Zack Phillips scores 4 goals,
as they battle for Tuesday supremacy, knowing what's on the line for both teams. Wild Kings money line parlay, the Tuesday special.
God.
Zach, you hate how much you love that. God.
Yeah,
I'd rather bet
I
the
might just be
Flyers
going. Yeah, this is concerning. Knowing what we have coming up here to close this one with the best bet too, it's also just there's. I don't know. I'm worried. I mean, we talked about all the disgusting plays and the plus money numbers and everything. This one's not that because of the numbers that they're sitting at. This one is completely disgusting because I saw all three of you send this one in at the same time. Before we get to this game, I do want to remind people, if you are watching right now and you haven't hit the like button, please hit like here on this stream. Subscribe here to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you get notified every time we go live. It does help support the show, but make sure to hit that like button, please, and thank you, so we can continue to produce content just like this. All right,
the big one.
I teased it a few times.
Here we go.
This is disgusting. If you're in the chat, just remember all three of these guys like this one. So take that for what it's worth. Moretto, I'm going to start with you because you are. I was going to say it. I don't know if I should say it. That wasn't what I was going to say. I was going to say you are a predator. What's going on here tonight? Why do all of you guys like the Predators? I'll leave the floor to you.
I mean, sweet vindication, right? I think I'm going to victory lap after like 6 games, and we'll just ignore the rest of the season, whatever happens the rest of the way. But the Preds have been fantastic to start the year. I said in our first show that I'm pretty much hitching my wagon to this team. And so far, my wagon's it's flying right now. I feel good about this. They're the number one. I mean, according to Evolving Hockey, they are the number one team in the NHL in expected goal share of 5-on-5. They're only team above 60%. They're sitting at 61%. And this is not because they've had an easy schedule. They've played the Lightning. They played the Kraken. They played the Bruins. They played the Oilers. They played the Rangers. And then San Jose. All right, fair enough. But like they have been the better team in pretty much all of those games. Their only bad loss this year was the Edmonton game where Saros let in like 4 goals on 7 shots or something like that, or 9 shots in the first period, which is obviously very uncharacteristic. That was still a game that they had a pretty good results in. So I mean, look, the Canucks number 1 in the NHL in 5-on-5 shooting percentage. Like this is just, I mean, they're going to come back down to earth. The save percentage at 5-on-5 is top 5 in the league. Their PDO is absurdly high. This is going to come down. Nashville's is not. Their underlying numbers are great. This is like smash spot right now for the Predators, which is why the Canucks are about to fucking lay a beating. They're going to lay a beating right now.
Canucks alt every way possible.
Like Canucks minus 6.5 because I love the Predators that much tonight. So
Canucks by a forfeit is all of a sudden in play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, this is not good, boys.
I jumped in to give out the Kings wild parlay because I already had chalked this up as a loss and didn't want to talk about it and thought you were just going to like finish the show, Zach. And I was like, I got to get this in before Zach like wraps the show. And then I was like, oh wait a minute, we have to talk about the bet that's going to lose tonight. And that's
6 units on the Predators.
That's pretty clearly Predators. What's the best number right now, Zach? I've got minus 112. I think was
good to 250.
I got on Vancouver. You mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
perfect, right? We all like it. The number's gone from minus like 110, 112 to the best available.
Yeah, the number has
120.
really run.
It's probably
really
going to
run
close
on us.
Preds minus 160 by the time they drop this puck at 8:56 or whenever this game is going off at 9:15. Yeah, we're in big trouble here.
I feel like I've faded Vancouver about 12 times already this season. Tonight's going to make 13. I feel like I've gone 1-12. I was obviously on Florida that you tweeted out the other day. I'm so tired of betting, just like I'm tired of betting against Vegas. I'm tired of losing money betting against Vancouver. But like Alex said, this is not a good team. Sorry, so many. The Canucks are the biggest frauds in hockey right now. It's not even somewhat remotely close.
Sorry, as you punch him in the kidney from behind.
This is probably going to lose.
No.
The Canucks are going to win the Stanley Cup.
Ruthless.
Yeah, I got on Nashville minus 112. This has no chance for every reason Alex said and more. Like the Canucks, I think, are just being overvalued. I think this is the 4th straight game I've been against them. This is so ugly. It's going to lose. It has no chance. But yeah, minus 112 I played.
I can't believe the hole we've just dug ourselves.
It's a lot of clippable material for this game.
Just went all the way around the screen with everyone just taking shots.
Someone in the chat said the Wings are the biggest frauds. I agree. The Wings start as fraudulent. I think they're better than Vancouver. Like I just
God.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna
expectations
regret saying that.
I think it's safe to say so many has left the chat.
never to come back.
I'm sorry, so many. You're great, but
He's silently walking the beaches of White Rock right now, just looking for answers.
I'm gonna get in the yellow. I'm gonna leave my building, and there's gonna be so many with a machete. Like, what did you say?
Oh man!
Oh, God.
Preds were like minus 120 when we started the show. They were like minus 110
They're
this
not minus
morning.
120
They've been
anymore.
bet up, and I still like it. I mean, I'd go to like minus 130 here pretty comfortably. I know I joked minus 250, but like this is shaping up to be it seems like the chat is also pretty aligned with all four of us. So like,
Right. Perfect.
Oh boy,
Oh,
not a good night to be a Predator.
So just to go touch on a different game quickly. So Gustafsson was just confirmed for Minnesota, yet Edmonton is somehow taking money. Which seems kind of odd.
people aren't
seems
betting
very
the
odd.
Wild Kings Tuesday parlay, I guess.
Yeah.
Just getting better value on it.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'm definitely grabbing.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is so
this is getting
ugly.
ridiculous. Predators win tonight. Canucks announce a full rebuild tomorrow. Oh, God.
Canucks win tonight, and we announce a full rebuild tomorrow.
Canucks
Yeah.
win tonight, and I'm going to be Amish again on tomorrow's show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no power.
the internet's not on, no power. Yeah.
You might be
Oh,
addicted. You
God.
might be doing this from the street.
All right. Well, if you did enjoy the show today, please make sure to hit that like button. We do have a fully unanimous Predators money line to finish this one out at minus 120 there. So we'll lock that in. Now, I've seen Limited Sports say we need more bets tonight. I think that we've done a
Rangers
fine
money
job
line
here.
always.
Handing out bets tonight. To recap everything. Oh my God, guys. I thought that I had done a big list before. All right. Again, for those who are watching, please go to betstamp.app/edgework. For those listening, buckle up because this is going to be a list. Moretto, Matt, I apologize. You're going to be hanging with me for a little bit here while we go through this. Please remember, full unit is $100, half unit $50, quarter $25, etc. Here are the plays for tonight. Let's start off. The Washington Capitals money line.
This list
plus
is amazing.
Washington Capitals money line plus 154 for a half unit. Carolina Hurricanes money line minus 120 for a full unit. The Hurricanes Tampa Bay Lightning over 6.5 minus 110 full unit. New Jersey Devils Montreal Canadiens over 6.5 minus 110 full unit. Seattle Kraken money line plus 120 full unit. Chicago Blackhawks plus 203 money line full unit. The Bruins Blackhawks under 6 minus 110 full unit. St. Louis Blues money line plus 164, full unit.
Sorry.
Zach Hyman, anytime goal, plus 205, half unit. Minnesota Wild, money line, minus 115, full unit. Oilers, Wild, under 6.5, minus 102, full unit. Nashville Predators, the guaranteed loss of the night, minus one, money line, minus 120, full unit. Arizona Coyotes, LA Kings, under 6.5, full minus 105,
This is
full
absurd.
unit. The LA Kings regulation time money line, minus 114, full unit. The Philadelphia Flyers, plus 1.5, minus 135, full unit. Whew. That is all the
Man.
picks.
That's a frenzy right there.
Catch your breath there, Zach.
I blame the NHL. You give us 16 games. What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
I mean, what do
You want us to
surrounded-
not bet on these games?
These games aren't going to bet themselves, Gare.
Oh man, this is the biggest
Oh, my
slate.
God.
This is the biggest slate ever. I mean, like I don't think they've never done this before. I've never had every team play in one night. Preds up to 6 units.
not
I
on
mean,
a
this is
weekday.
like where do you have the circles off the big bone banger? The
Can the
the
Preds?
thing right here for us right
Is it
now.
possible to close with 100% closing line value? Because I think the Predators might end up closing with 100% closing line
Zach?
value.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was just. There's a lot. Normally, I'll go through them twice. I don't think that that's going to be a thing here today. Again,
Let's
watch
never
the show
speak of
back.
this again.
How many
Yeah,
how many
I don't-
shots,
I don't
how
think
many
you
shots
could
on
go
goal
through it
props
again.
would Todd have had if he was on today with 16 games? That
Over,
would be
under,
like
30. we
yeah, I'm gonna
Matt,
go
we
Austin
would've been
Matthews
sitting
over
here
3.5.
forever this year.
Trevor Zegras over 2.5. I'm gonna go Tage Thompson over 4.5. I'm gonna go Svechnikov over 4.5, and then it would have gone on and on.
Do you guys
So
want
the
me to
worst
read
part of this-
Todd's props
clicking
for you?
everywhere.
Zach just frantically trying to log stuff.
So the
Rewatches
funniest
the
part
show
of this-
6 times in order to get them in.
So the best
Oh
part of
my
this and how
God.
long it's taken is there's 4 games. I don't believe we even spoke about 1 second of
Yeah, I know. People are asking about them.
Buffalo, the Buffalo game, the San Jose game, the Colorado game, and
Yeah.
I'm missing one more somewhere.
Uh,
Anaheim.
yeah, I don't even.
Ducks
know.
Columbus.
Oh yeah,
Ducks
Ducks Columbus. Yeah.
I'm not sure Ducks Columbus is even being played tonight. I think that's.
I'm not sure
literally
that's an
just-
NHL game. I think there's 15 NHL games and one AHL
It's-
game tonight.
It's on the schedule so that they can say that every team is playing, but I don't think they're actually playing that game. Nobody's watching that. Nobody's betting on that. It's just
Yeah.
it happened. I promise. And it's did it? Probably not.
Oh my
Okay.
God, this is chaos here, guys. All right, well, enjoy the games.
No.
Good luck on your bets
No
here.
chance.
If you enjoyed the show today, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, and I don't know. I mean, maybe avoid the Predators game.
Matt's
maybe
just like
stay
there's
away
no
from the
enjoyment going to
Predators.
be had in this
No,
5 hours.
don't.
Preds are the chase game of the century. Are you kidding? This is like
If we
anything.
go
If you
one-
lost over the weekend, anything like that. If you decided to fade the Vikings like an idiot last night, this is how you get it all back.
I'm already ready. I'm already excited to find out that the Predators are bummed out that their game started so late and that somehow gave the West Coast Canucks an advantage because they started at 9 whatever start time, and that's going to be why the Predators lost and had 14 shots tonight. That's going to
The
be
worst
sick.
part of that game starting at 9:15 and all these games early is when we inevitably end up down 3 units by 9 o'clock, and we're sitting there going, "Do we want to bet the Preds for another 2 units minus 125?" The answer is obviously yes.
I have hockey at
Yeah.
9:30 tonight, so it's perfect. I just get to just zone out and miss
You're gonna
all
lock
and
it.
Get out of it.
Oh, that's the
Come back,
best. You
just
lock
come
it
back
in.
to-
Skate through the
down 7
tears,
units.
buddy.
Yeah.
Skate through the tears.
Yeah. Oh, down 7
Oh,
units. I at least have
God.
enough to watch it.
There you go.
Sounds like my
21 NHL wagers for the day, boys. Volume builds character. What a way to look at it. I like it. All right. Well, if you did enjoy the show, you like all the picks. Even if you don't like all the picks, make sure to like this show here.
I don't think
Subscribe
it's
to the
possible
channel.
like the picks.
Turn on notifications so you get notified. We'll either be back tomorrow celebrating today's day, or this is the end of Edgework. So thank you all for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Alex, Matt, thank you guys for taking the time here today. Long show, but we got through it. We got through all the games. So For everyone out there, thank you guys so much for tuning in here today, watching on podcasts, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. We do appreciate it. It does help continue to build the show. But enjoy the games here tonight. Good luck on your bets. We'll see you guys back here at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Let's have a day.